programa Oli Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Rock de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Rock Radio med Jamie Roxx.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Pop Rocks Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx, and this is the big show. You found it. I sure am glad you did. Hey, I am super excited today. On the home front, I'm excited. It's not really excitement, but we're having another one of those South Florida cold snaps. And yes, I posted about this on my blog and everything. Everybody keeps messaging me. Yes, the iguanas fall out of the trees during these. I almost got hit by one the other day. They're reptiles. They get cold. They shut down and they fall out of the tree. It's a thing. It's a real thing that happens here. And they're big. They're like 4 foot long. Anyhow, so I'm not excited about that, getting hit in the head with an iguana, a frozen iguana. I'm excited about our guest today. We have got a cool guest. Cool turned up to 10. His name is Billy Ray Rock. And Billy Ray, you've got an interesting story. You started out in Texas, right? And then you were telling me headed west with the fam.
Yeah, what happened was I was born in Texas, and then my family, I come from a large family, 11 kids, 13 total people. It's a lot of kids, man. My father has stretch marks, brother. It's a lot of kids. But,
the stress of that? Imagine the stress. Now, I know you got kids. You don't have 11, though.
No, there's 11 kids in the family. I don't have 11 kids.
Right.
I come from a family of 11, yeah. And I'm the youngest. And so we moved out to Fresno, raised out there, spent a lot of time there, man. And then I spent a lot of my adult years in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. And from there, I had a couple of kids, and then we skipped right on up to this kind of Northwest area. And yeah.
My worst story in San Francisco, this was many years ago. I had to go up and I was living in San Diego, and I had to go up and do this charity event thing where I'd painted some paintings and they were auctioning them off, raffling them off. But anyway, so I'm trying to get to the place, and from my hotel that I looked on Craigslist, found a cheap hotel. Yes, I think serial killers might have stayed there before me. It was over in Oakland, and there's a big bridge. It's not the Golden Gate Bridge, but there's a bridge from Oakland into San Francisco. I had to get to the DNA Lounge.
Yes,
downtown.
I know the place, yeah.
And this is, as the kids say, this is way cringy. I got turned. I'm driving this little Nissan pickup truck. Got a big camper thing on the back with all the paintings in there and all my stuff, my gear. And I got turned around on the bridge. And folks, I hope this never happens to you. I went in the aisle where you go through and you have to have the exact change. And I didn't have exact change. So I had to honk and then back up and ease over into the other. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life, or experienced in my life. It was terrible. I hope that never happens to anybody. Pay attention when you're driving. How about that?
Well, there's always that, man.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, so that's cool, man. Fresno, interesting. When you said you left Texas, I was like, yeah, cattle ranches smell. But then he moved to Fresno, and I don't know. All I know is whenever I would drive from San Diego to San Francisco, you'd pass Fresno, and there was this cattle farm that must have been like a dairy farm that must have been about, I don't know, 10 miles long because the smell just...
Yeah, oh yeah.
Everybody's rolling the windows up. I'm like, it ain't going to help. It ain't going to help.
Yeah.
We just got to get past this.
Funny story, I did a gig. I did a gig out there in the areas in a little town called Coalinga. And it's right there by the ranch. And I didn't know it. And I kept going to the front desk complaining that there was flies in my room. And the lady switched me to a different room. I go, there's flies there too. So I get to the third room and she goes, sir, we're right across the street from a dairy farm. And I look out the window, just miles of cows. And I was like, and the first thing I said to her, I go, the only good thing I could say about this is I could fart and nobody would know. And she goes, that's true. I never thought about that.
That's very true. The cool thing, Billy Ray, is, though you're a musician, of course, you play bass, you sing, you write music, But also, you've dipped your toe into the acting. You got sawdust in your bones, it seems. You entertainment, what do you got? I can handle it. Comedy, stand up, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the television thing it's a weird thing because when you're doing it, you don't think it's that big a deal. But then when
Oh, it's
people,
a big deal.
yeah, it gets in front of a lot of eyeballs, and I find myself at Costco or somewhere and I go, yeah, you're in that. Oh yeah, it's great stuff. So it's a cool thing, man. But I always feel like
Absolutely.
there are a lot of actors out there that want to be musicians and musicians that want to be actors. And very few can do both. Jamie Foxx probably stands out among the top of all of them. But a lot of Johnny Depp, for example, you're a great actor. Music, people just lukewarm on it.
Right.
Keanu Reeves have been in band for years, but people don't really.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Yeah, they don't really.
Yeah.
And so it's a short list. It's a weird thing, man, you know? And if you're a comedian,
I guess
if you're a comedian, they don't take your music serious. They think, oh man,
right.
That guy's funny, but he can't. And again, Jamie Foxx was
or
the only one that
kind of comedy song or something.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, Jamie Foxx now does it. Yeah, he can bring it.
He did it with music. He was able to bridge the music thing in part because he had some other huge names around him. You got T-Pain and Kanye and different people like that. But if he was just left to his own devices, nobody wouldn't have taken any of his music serious. So it's a weird. People are just closed-minded when it comes to talent.
They want you to stay in your lane. You know,
Absolutely.
They're like, oh, they want to put these labels on you, and it's weird, and it happens in everything. Even in my little world of art and painting and stuff, people are like, oh, you're doing abstract now? I'm like, I felt like doing an abstract that day. That's why I painted it. And I have a whole little groups. I have people that buy nothing but abstract paintings. I got people that buy nothing but horror paintings. I got people that want Marilyn Monroe. I just smile, shake my head, and cash the checks. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all you can do. That's all you can do, man.
I sound so cool when I say that. Honestly, folks, if you want to peek behind the curtain of my life, did you ever see the intro to that old 60s cartoon, The Jetsons? When he pulls out his wallet to give his wife a couple bucks, and she just takes the whole wallet and leaves him with $1.
Yep.
That's my life. That is... Welcome to marriage, right? That's
it. Hey, man.
Yeah, you got to ante up in the kitty. That's just how it goes, you
Absolutely.
know? And if it doesn't go, well, that's what's weird. I have filmmaker friends, people that do like indie films and stuff, and they're like, how long did it take for this project? I'm like, oh, 1.5 years. I'm like, you were doing other stuff too, right? You had to, because if I went to my wife and she said, washing machine's making a weird noise, we're probably going to have to get a washing machine soon. And I said, don't worry, dear. We'll get one in 1.5 years when I get done with this painting. That wouldn't work. That would not play with her. That would be a conversation I do not want to have. No, it wouldn't work. So I don't know. But that's cool, man. So you cut your teeth out there in San Francisco and the whole West Coast area, really. And then moved to Idaho and all of that. It's got to be beautiful. You're right on the Washington border.
It is. Yes, I am. And it is nice up here. People are super nice. There's always idiots. I live in a little town out here outside of Lewiston called Asotin.
Okay.
Like 1,500 people out here, man. Not a lot going on in this town. The people are super nice.
That's sometimes a good thing. You know, that's sometimes a good thing. I'm telling you. It's
quiet. And when you live out here, people just, you mind your own business. They mind their own business. And that's all I can really ask for.
It is so true. My parents did that. They moved up from Metro Detroit to the middle of the state, little rural town they lived in.
Okay.
Farm town. And I went to visit my folks, and I get in my dad's truck. We were going to do something. I can't remember what, but we get in, and he's got an air freshener hanging from his rearview mirror. And I said, Dad, and it was a rainbow, like a rainbow air freshener. I'm like, oh, Dad, nothing wrong with anything, but there's something you want to, do we need to have a conversation? Joking with him. And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, your air freshener. It's a rainbow.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, isn't that nice? He goes, a new muffler guy opened up shop in town, and he's a real nice guy. He's a little light in his loafers. I don't mean to offend anybody. This is just my old man father speak. He wasn't trying to be offensive with that statement. He was trying to be descriptive. And I got what he was saying. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, he's such a nice guy. I don't even care about any of that other. He said he gives out these air fresheners whenever to anybody who gets their muffler fixed. And I'm like, you mean all these farmers are driving in their work trucks around the area here with their rainbow air freshener? And he's, yeah. And I just couldn't help but start laughing. So that was a funny story. No, it's technology. I love technology when it works. That's the thing. That's the caveat. Yeah, so that's cool, man. Now you have a very cool website. I like your website a lot. Easy to navigate. Everything's right there. And oh yeah, I'm an old man. All my weirdo friends, they have terrible websites. Your website's good. I can navigate it. Their websites are weird. That.
Thank you.
They're like, did you listen to the track? I'm like, no, I couldn't find them. They're like, there's a tree with a monkey. Did you give the monkey a banana in the tree? I'm like, no. I just want to hear the track. Jeez. Yours is good to get around, though. I like it.
I appreciate it.
And folks, you're seeing his website, the URL of it, the URL, flying around your screen as we're speaking. And also in the description are all clickable links for everything Billy Ray Rock. Get you right there. I suggest following him, subscribing, all that kind of stuff. All that jazz. Very cool. Now, tell us about this latest EP, Billy Ray.
So basically, what I'm doing
come about?
Is it came about from me wanting to put people into hearing something that they can groove to. There's a lot of artists out there, a lot of music out there, and everybody has gone crazy with auto-tune. Everybody's gone crazy with a lot of things. And I tend to want to be a throwback. Like, I believe music, man, the genius in music is just the one thing that you can do, the one thing you can listen to that will send you to a particular day and time in your life. And I am bred from the old school. My influences are like Prince and Rick James and Earth, Wind & Fire and Mick Jagger and some of these older cats, about music down that when they hear it, it makes them feel good. I don't want to bum people out necessarily, but I want people to have fun and I want them to have memorable moments with my music. And so this EP that I put together really revolves around just that, getting people up, introducing them to different points of music that make them feel different kind of ways. There's a song on there called We Going Out. I'm really high on because it just changes gears. And I come from, they got songs now that barely run 2 minutes long that are out there. And
the TikTok songs, yeah.
Exactly. And everybody makes songs so they can hopefully go viral on TikTok. And I make songs that, yeah, if that happens, that's great because you want to expose your stuff to as many people as possible. But I make music. I want when you stream or play my song, you get the full 3.5 minutes of it. Back in the 70s, early 60s, songs used to be really short. Back in the early 60s and 50s, and people started adding, and by the time you got to the 90s, if your song didn't go 3.5 minutes, it was a waste of time. So now we're in that era where it's shrinking back. The problem is when the music shrinks, as it's shrinking back to smaller, shorter length songs, it's short on content, and half the time it's short on quality. Man, I'm trying to do music where you get your money's worth. Man, when you stream one of my songs, it's 3.5 minutes of fun. If you want to take a snippet and play a little to go on TikTok, that's up to you. But at the point of creation, man, I'm trying to do something different.
Absolutely. This reminds me, Billy, of my first real job that I got after I moved out of my parents' house, got my own place. I was 17 years old, and I got a job, believe it or not, as a DJ at a gentleman's club. That's a good way to put that. And I was horrible. I was the worst gentleman's club DJ ever. It was good money. I got paid $100 a night, all I can drink. And for 17 years old, that was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working. The scenery was mighty fine too.
Hell yeah.
The thing is I'm a music guy. I love music. I'm like you. I will buy an album and I want to hear. When Purple Rain dropped, I wanted to hear every song on that because every song was good. I didn't want to just hear the hits that I heard on the radio. I wanted the deep dive. So when I was DJing, I would play, oh, here it is, folks. Here's Cinnamon to the stage. And she's going to be dancing to this extended remix of whatever. And the girls working hated me. Hated it. They're like, Jamie, 3 minutes. That's it. You get up here in these high heels and try to do this for 6 minutes. What are you, crazy? We need to make our money and then move this along. I didn't know. I wasn't a professional DJ. Just lucked into that job. But yeah, no, it's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. And the other weird thing, now I'm going to sound like an old man. What I don't get, because back in my day, when you had a stereo at home, you wanted to listen to some music, you had a stereo, multiple components. The thing looked like you could launch a space shuttle with it from NASA. Today, people today, and I don't care if you get mad at me, kids, listen to some of the music you like on a decent stereo instead of your phone because it sounds so much better on a stereo than that tinny out of your phone. Real hard. People like Bill, man, he's in there. He's listened to the track 300 times going, we need a little more that gate delay on this part. Stuff that you'll never hear on your phone.
True.
It's important.
So true. And what I think is interesting is when I create music, especially back in the day even, the first creation of it, it sounds like crap. It's tinny, it's done on some, I don't know, little tape recorder, the harmony. So then it graduates to the studio where you get this full great sound. And then you release it and it goes right back to the tinny little radio on somebody's phone again. And you wonder, and then if you play it at a nightclub, it sounds great when they're playing it. But even when it gets to a nightclub type of environment, it's blasting to people who are drunk, who aren't even really listening to the details of anything you did. I think as musicians,
trying to meet somebody.
Yeah. You're trying to meet somebody, because you're a musician. We go painstakingly ape shit trying to get it perfect, but in the end, when people are driving to work and it's on the radio, they don't really care. Either they like the melody and the beat or they don't. The people that obsess over the details tend to be industry people, other musicians. Yeah. Sometimes it's program and music directors. They get all weirded out. Oh, he hit this note and he should have hit that note. Or the break went too long. People who hear the song don't care about that. Either they like the beat and the music or they don't.
True.
And it's very interesting.
I've had this conversation with guitar friends that I have, and they're not. You're in the business, some guitarists, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, if I play this Les Paul here, you'll notice the tone is different. I'm like, I don't notice any of that, man. It sounds like a guitar to me. It sounds great. And they're like, compared to this, and I'm like, sounds the same. Not to them, though. I don't have that ear. I don't have that skill. So I can be nothing but jealous of them because I want to hear it like they're hearing it.
Yeah.
But anyway. So you mentioned, as we were talking before we got a little sidetracked, about your track, We Going Out.
Yeah.
Should we play that one now?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's give it a spin.
Here it is, folks. Check this out. We Going Out, Billy Ray Rock. Here it is.
Your mark. But I'm glad that you came out.
And we're back, folks. We're back. Amazing track. I love it. Like I said, Billy, I've been listening to your music all morning long today, just getting ready for the show, doing my research a little bit. Very cool. Let me ask you this question. Now, and this goes against everything we were just talking about with people out there, but I'm just curious for myself, and I can't be the only one. In my world, when I do a painting and people see it, I post it, they're seeing the end result. They're like, Jamie rolled out of bed this morning. He just knocked that out today. Sometimes that happens. I celebrate it because it is such a rarity when that happens. What nobody ever sees me is when it fights me and I want to throw it in the street and jump up and down on it and I just hate it sometimes. You got to love it even when you hate it type deal. And they don't see any of that. Now, when I hear a track like We Going Out, to me, it sounds great. It's polished. It's good. It's really good. And my first thought, of course, being Joe Schmo, the public out, I'm like, yeah, Billy just knocked that out this morning. He rolled out of bed and it probably didn't even need to be mastered. It was just perfect from the start.
Oh, sure.
You know? And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I don't mean to overstep any boundaries.
That's okay, brother. Go ahead.
Anything. But it sounds perfect to me. I can't tell. Was that an easy one or was that a hard one?
That particular track was hard to do because it has two things in it that you don't regularly hear in EDM type songs. It's got a real R&B vocal to it. And that's a really hard thing to fuse. Now, people have been doing it a lot lately. I think you got Usher has done some different things, but that song has an R&B thing to it, but it also have a rave kind of a element to it.
Yeah, it does.
And a lot of these songs that are EDM, they're EDM, they're dance songs, but it doesn't have the rave element. And that's what made that song difficult to pull off, because you want to be smooth, you want to try to get something they can sing with you, but because of the rave element, it's different. And that made it a little bit trickier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because when you're dealing with rave and EDM, you don't want to talk too much or sing too much. You want the music to pull it.
And you have to do the peaks and the valleys,
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
bring the person along.
Yep, 100%.
Or so I've heard, folks. I wouldn't know from any personal experience in my younger days, any of that stuff. I heard that the kids enjoyed that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Lived life. What can I say? I wasn't always married. Anyway. That's cool, man. When did you pick up the bass? Now, you not only just play bass, though. I think I read somewhere 10 instruments or something.
Yeah, I
like
do.
that.
I play 13 different instruments.
13.
Bass was our first instrument. I picked it up in high school, just before high school. I think I was like in the 8th grade. I started playing it, and me and my best buddy of mine, his name is Gary, and he taught me how. He's, hey, man, these guys out there, Lewis Johnson and Larry Graham and these guys, man, they can slap and funk. And I started learning to do it and got better at it and better at it. But I really, when I'm on stage, I've got my bass out there with me. And it's not because I claim to be the world's best bassist. I got my bass out there because it's fun to play and all that, but it's mostly, it aids me in giving the best show I can. Because, you know, the dancing that I do on stage is my own moves. It's kind of like Prince was never a great dancer, but he did Prince. Rick James, same thing. Even really Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson never really did the latest dances. He did Michael Jackson. And likewise with Mick Jagger and Billy Idol, and you go right down the list.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had a younger friend of mine. He was asking me about, he's like, why are you always talking about bass and all this and that? I said, you want to hear some bass? I said, I'll explain it to you. I said, and I pulled out one of my Motown albums, and he's like, Motown? I said, yeah, Motown. I said, this is a little track called Reach Out and I'll Be There. But I want you to listen to the bass track. It was a genius of a bass player named James Jamerson.
Mm-hmm.
Who was uncredited on most, because they didn't credit studio musicians in those days. I said, but just listen. And he's like, this guy can play. I'm like, yeah. The bass is like the DJ for the band almost. It keeps things going along.
Oh, so true.
I thought it was the drum. I said, drums kind of accent the bass if you listen closely. And the drums are solid and they're pounding, but the bass is what moves. It's the river of the band, the fluidity of it.
It really is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it keeps it together. And
somebody wants to be on the camera, I can tell.
No, my daughter just showed up, and I was just telling her
to
like, be quiet. I'm doing an interview.
Yep, Papa's working.
Yep. But no, the bass guitar is really the adult in the room. And it's funny because in live bands, they still are, in a literal sense. If you go to any live rock band or any band, the person typically who's the most mature is the bass player. And then from there, it's the drummer.
Yep.
And then
and drumming's, because it's so much work. You know what I mean? I've seen guys almost pass out from drumming. You know,
God,
it's a lot of.
It is. You got all the extremities working, man. And probably the least mature, obviously, is probably the lead vocalist sometimes. It's a toss-up, I think, between the lead vocalist and the lead guitar player, depending on who you're around.
Oh, it's so true. When I was growing up, all of my friends, I knew all these musicians, but this was the 80s. They all played guitar. They all wanted to be either Eddie Van Halen or Randy Rhoads. They were all metal guys, rock guys. And they came to me and they're like, we're going to start a band. That was the big news. And I said, that's great. You guys are an orchestra right now, an orchestra of guitar players. Somebody's going to have to learn how to drum, play bass. You need a singer. You can't just have 12 cats with guitars on the stage. Somebody's got to do something different. And it's funny, I think back, out of all those cats, I think 3 of them are still in the music business. You know, life happened and other things.
That's crazy.
But crazy. Let's play another track. We should, now we've got Irresistible B. Yep. You Got It. And of course, Four Fingers Get Up. great soundtrack. Which one should we play next?
Do Irresistible B.
Okay. Here it is, folks. Without further ado, we're going to roll a clip. Check this out.
She thick like butter with a coochie ring. Her sex is rugged, but I can't complain. She full of drama. She'll flip your girl, turn her to a lesbian, then kick her to the curb. She'll drink your shots and take your card and have you missing your ex, but you want more. It's hard for me to believe I've been treating this, and still I need, I'm obsessed, but I can't keep feeling this. I feel I'm tweaking, I'm weeping and grieving this. She's like my favorite drug, I'm feeling, I'm bleeding, don't trip. You're irresistible, you're irresistible, you're irresistible, irresistible, you're irresistible.
And we're back. That was Irresistible B, Billy Ray Rock, folks. Billy Ray Rock. Now, Billy, these are all available, right? People can buy these right now.
The Irresistible B is out there. You can get it. And of course, Four Fingers Get Up won't be released until March 6th.
Okay. I gotcha. There you go, folks.
Yeah.
There you go. You're going to hear it here. You're going to hear it here. But all it's going to do is get you ready. It's just going to get you ready.
It's
the
fun.
Cool thing, go ahead. I didn't mean.
No, I was going to say, with Irresistible B, the funny thing about that track is I had a friend of mine who broke up with a girl. He damn near stalked her and just could not get enough of her. And I thought to myself at the time, man, when I did the song, I did it because I thought it'd be a cool song to do about a guy who was with a girl he couldn't get enough of. Of course, after I did it, he took it and sent it to her. And then she thought that it was like inappropriate contact, if you will. And I just
settled. You guys were in cahoots.
Yeah.
Up to something.
And so I just sat on a song for a long time because I thought, I don't want to make music that's going to encourage people to stalk somebody.
Right.
And then,
I hear you.
And I just sat on it. And eventually I just released it and people started really vibing to it. Yeah. Well, that's like an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've had friends that have been on both sides of that. And if you got a gal you can't get out of your system, my old man advice is there's 8 billion people in the world. Go find another one. Do what you got to do. And I knew a gal who was in that situation. And yeah, she wound up taking the guy to court. He went to jail.
Wow.
And probably needed to. That was the thing. I couldn't believe the stuff that came out in that. But music's supposed to make you feel good. That's what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to encourage malfeasance.
That's true. And look, I've had buddies of mine who couldn't get enough of a woman. And this is a really cold thing to say, but I would tell them. Look, man, all women have a few things in common, but the one thing they have in common is they all got a vagina. And I know you think the one that you're stalking is different from the rest, but it's really not that different. It's all in your head, brother. And it is all
you can't trust yourself to make good decisions. I remember I broke up with, this was so many years. I was dating this gal, and it ended, as they do, as these things happen. And I went out to dinner with my parents like a couple days later. And they're like, so what's going on in your life? What's been happening? And I said, such and such and me, we parted ways. And my mother got up and danced a jig. She was so happy. And I'm like, a jig in the restaurant? I said, you're doing a dance in the restaurant? And she goes, yes. I said, why didn't you tell me you felt this? Give me some heads up if I wasn't seeing. We tried, Jamie. We tried. You just couldn't see it. They were right. They were right.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Sometimes it's, especially when you're young and dumb.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. How it is.
And when you're young, you think you're never going to find another one like the one you just lost.
Right.
And pretty quickly you realize that, they're all like the one you just lost. If you're dating a girl that you just broke up with and she had a third boob on her back, or a second clitorius, and then you're telling somebody I'm never going to find another one? Agreed.
Yeah.
That is some different shit right there, brother. But as long as she's human and got two boobs and a vagina, man, I swear to God, they're all over the place.
Well, holler on you the whole bit.
Yep.
Holler on you the whole bit. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
On that note, on the third boob note, I'm kidding, everybody. Settle down. We've got You Got It and Four Fingers Get Up. What should we play next?
Go, You Got It, man.
You got it, Billy Ray. You got it. Here it is, everybody. Check this out. Zebra.
What your friends don't know, when you pull my robe, we be gone till the middle of the night now, till 3:45. Got my click, don't trip. I should have been a pimp. The way I get them really feeling close to me, backstroke, let's swim. You got it. You got it. All you can do is come with me so I can show you.
And we're back. You got it. I got it. Billy Ray Rock's got it. Amazing track, Billy Ray. Amazing.
Yeah, it's a funky song, man. I like that song. I love performing it. It's a different kind of funk, but it's funky. It's, you know. Well, my only regret is that oftentimes when I perform live, I don't get a chance to do the harmonica solo as often as I like to because I got so many other things going on in my live performances. And people are more wanting to dance. But I love that, man. And by the way, that song, Irresistible B, I should say, is being distributed by Hustle Tree Global, man. These are some friends of mine that I met. It's been about a year now, and they're distributing that song for me. They're out in the South in Arkansas, so I love those guys. Shout out to Knowledge and Jessica and all those guys, man. They're like family to me, man. But yeah, it's cool stuff.
I was reading this biography about, he didn't write it, wasn't an autobiography, but it was this, somebody put together all these interviews that David Bowie did over his career.
Yeah.
And it was interesting reading. And somebody asked him, one of the questions they asked him, or one of the things they said to him was, it's just hit after hit. And he said, the reason, he goes, everything sounds so good. How do you just continuously do this? And he said, I surround myself with the best in the business.
Yeah.
And when you do that, there's a much greater chance of things working the way you want them to. You know?
100%.
And it sounds like that's what you've done too, Billy.
Yeah, Michael and MTS and all those guys, man, they know what they're doing. And it's funny, man. I go through a day and I get in my inbox on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I get so many like guys working out of their basement who are like, come sign with my label. Hey, this, hey, that. And it's funny because I've had times where I've succumbed to those guys. I've been like, okay, look, man, let's see what you got. And like 95% of the time, they show you, it's like looking for a house and you pull up to the house and it's got a 4-car garage. It looks beautiful. And you get inside and it's a dump. And that's kind of what it was with these guys. They'd be like, oh man, my thing has never been that I don't want to see people come up. In fact, my belief is that I hate this idea, even in music, that the rich just gets richer. And so I have a hard time, man, when I watch like Grammy Awards and some of those shows, because it feels like they're just recycling the same artist over and over. Yeah. I saw a chart a few years ago after Taylor Swift released her album. And I got nothing against Taylor Swift. I think she's talented. But the idea, I looked on Billboard and the top 8 slots was Taylor Swift songs. So are we to believe in a world where we can't get people to agree who's going to go first to the 4-way stop sign? We're all honestly in agreement that Taylor Swift has the top 9 songs.
Mm-hmm.
We all agree that those are the most popular 9 songs in the world. Come on, man. And so I don't buy it.
I don't either. I don't either. These things, and it happens in all these businesses.
Oh, it
and
does.
It's all.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been more obvious since all this social media and the algorithm.
Absolutely.
The algorithms telling you what. Sometimes I don't want to hear. It bugs me on certain streaming sites that rhyme with Spotify. When it'll say, you liked this sounds just like it. You might like it. No, I liked that, and that's fine, and that's great.
Yeah.
I don't need 10 other bands that sound just like it. I want some variety. I want something different.
Yeah.
Because my moods are all different.
Yeah. 100%.
It's crazy. And then you get musicians, and the only reason I know this is because I ride in the car with my wife, and my wife's a little younger than me. She likes her Sirius XM, and she listens to her pop stations, and they make her happy. So I have nothing. I'm not putting them down or anything, but I just noticed this because I have ears and I can hear it. Obviously, certain musicians say Taylor Swift's on the top 8 places. I need to make a song that sounds just like that.
Yep.
And they're not helping. Prince never said, I want to sound like such and such.
No.
Prince wanted to sound like Prince.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the difference. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I have an issue. I had somebody ask me the other day here. They said, how do I feel about Beyonce doing country? Look, on its face, I don't really care. You do whatever you want to do. But if you want to know how I feel about it, I feel everybody it's got so much money and fame. Like, when is enough? The fact that, like, when she comes out with her country album, there are a lot of country artists that aren't getting any shine because she's taking all the air out of the room. They literally can't get a record deal, can't get the song on the radio. Because,
and been trying to.
And they've been trying
30
for years.
years.
Yeah. And they can't get a sniff because somebody who's dominated one genre decides they want their genre now. It's kind of like when I hear a TV show coming on, and it's a game show, and they'll have some has-been from a sitcom hosting it. That has-been has got 6 houses and worth $40 million. There are guys out there who can't figure out how to pay rent, who that gig would have changed their life. But they don't get a sniff because they're going after the other person from that failed sitcom. Like, I know it was one of those guys from Friends I know used to just get, every time you look up, this guy was on a new show. And I just think to myself, man, you got enough money. There are broke people out here who just want a chance.
And want their shot and deserve their shot.
Absolutely. And they can't.
Me and my wife
and they can't get songs.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah, you can't get songs on the radio because of it. It's terrible, man.
In my world, we live here in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and there's a big gay population in both, really.
Okay.
There's this art group, and they're primarily, and they have it in the title, they're like LGBTQ and allies. And of course, I'm an ally. I work in the arts, man. I don't have any problem with anybody.
Yeah, for real.
But as long as you're cool, I'm not a jerk. I don't want to hang out with any jerks.
For sure.
But they always wanted me as part of their art shows. And it got to a point, and really the reality is doing art shows is a pain because it ties up a painting for a month, sometimes a lot longer, that I could sell and get the money for and paint 10 more paintings, and sell those. But this particular group always wanted me to do stuff. And I always felt bad. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I would rather some young gay artist who doesn't get a shot take that spot. And maybe, who knows who's going to be in the crowd. That might be their big break or something. I don't want to, because that isn't my main deal. And she got it. But she was asking me, she's like, why aren't you doing these art shows? And I'm like, I would rather those go to somebody whose deal that is. There's not a lot of people that have that attitude. They're like, oh no, I got to do everything. And like Beyonce in a country. That's a good example of that, Billy Ray. That's a good example.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And when I do festivals, and they'll often ask me about different artists and acts that are opening up and all that, And they say, look, man, how much time do you want to give them? And I always tell them the same thing. I go, look, man, I know you want to do 2 hours of your greatest hits, okay? But do enough so that people want to hear more.
Right.
But when they have
Right. You can't put everything.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but I'll see when they do these festivals, whether it's the Lollapalooza from yesteryear, Burning Man or whatever, you get artists that show up there, and nobody wants to hear too much of somebody they've never heard of. But if you go to those things, how many artists would you say that's on there that nobody's never heard of? And I'll save you the research. None. Okay. And,
right.
And because all the people they stick on there, they're already rich and they got followings. So when does the little guy get a break? That's my thing. How do you help the guy?
Oh, yeah. And I can remember several times when I was young and going to concerts and shows and stuff a lot because they were fun, getting turned on to a new artist. Going to some opening act I'd never heard of, and I'm going, wow, these guys are great. And the next thing, a month later, I got all their albums. I really dug them, and I went out and took my money from my little mall job and got all their albums. But I would have never heard them if they hadn't opened up for that band. But yeah, some people you just can't. You need a big hook to get them off the stage sometimes.
You do. And I think, again, I'm back to the little guy, years ago in radio, the DJs, and I'm sure you're aware of this, DJs would cut their teeth by taking the graveyard shift. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they worked the graveyards. Eventually somebody called in sick during the day. They'd do it. The PD would say, hey, man, you did a great job. Maybe we can get you in during the days, and you go up from there. Now, when the graveyard shift comes, it's all pre-recorded and computerized.
Yeah.
So if you're a new DJ, you don't really have an in to get to radio. Your best shot is to start a podcast, maybe. You can develop enough of a following, maybe throw in your name into the hat at a radio station, and maybe you luck up and somebody has to listen. But the point I'm making is they're squeezing out a way for people to get started in a lot of these things.
Yeah, the gatekeeping.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's sad because there's a lot of talent out there that are just waiting for you. I tell you, I'm at that age where you'll go to a barbecue or a cocktail party, and invariably somebody's had too many brews or something, and they'll start it. They just don't make music like it was. There's nothing good out now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I spend a few hours a week talking to people who are making real good music.
Yeah.
There's good stuff out there. Just because every guy, I know this for men, I don't know if it's the same with women, I just don't know. But for guys, every guy can remember the first time you ever kissed a girl, like a for real kiss, not a peck on the cheek from your Aunt Tilly, but a for real kiss. You know what music was playing in the car or the party or wherever you were. It comes back, and all music has sucked since that point. Or at least it doesn't have the same impact. You know what I mean?
True.
It's burned in your brain.
Yeah.
Now, I always tell people in my world, nobody knows what painting was hanging on the wall behind her. They have no clue. Nobody noticed that. The musicians can touch your soul, man. I'm telling you.
So true. So true.
But there's so much good music out there. And as far as DJs go, there's a lot of good talent out there, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There is.
And I just wish more people, maybe the podcast thing's cool. I only do this. Honestly, I wound up moving to Florida. I never planned on it. I came here to visit a friend. We went out. I met my now wife, and I decided to move. And I used to hang out in nightclubs on the West Coast like 4 nights a week. Like it was a lot. And the only reason I did that was because that's where people who bought my art were hanging out. So if you go fishing, you go to where the fish are. And all of my friends, when I moved to South Florida, they're like, what, are you going to go to all the clubs? I'm like, no, man, I got a girl. That's how you lose a girl, hanging out in nightclubs. You can't. Are you kidding? I like this girl. I don't want to mess it up. And they're like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And one friend of mine, an actual for real DJ, been doing it for decades. He said, why don't you check out this podcast thing? I think this might be the next big thing. And so I started doing it. And this was 1,500 episodes ago. I had no idea. Here we are now, 10 years later, 13 years later. Yeah, it's crazy.
Verified. Ashley Pos.
Oh, Ashley? Crazy Ashley? No.
I get girls in my inbox like crazy, man. I made a post on my Instagram.
That's why.
I made a post on my Instagram that I was single, and it's been a little crazy. Man, I was married with my kid's mom for almost 20 years, and I just lost her. She was diagnosed with cancer, and we struggled for 4 or 5 years. She finally got her wings on New Year's Eve, and so it's just a terrible thing, man. And
there goes that holiday.
Yeah, ain't that the truth, man? Woo! Every year.
I'm telling you, as we get older, and you don't think about this, any youngsters out there, this will happen to you. You will get to a point. It's crazy. You open up Facebook or whatever, you're like, who died today that is going to emotionally scar me? It's weird. The one that was real hard for me was George Michael. And I wasn't a big George Michael fan. I think I might have bought a tape of his. Maybe. I can't really remember, but I had one. But what messed me up is he was like my age. And for some reason that hit me. I'm like, all my friends were like, he lived a pretty wild life. And I'm like, thinking back, not saying anything, going, well, I lived a pretty fast life too. I better start getting some amino acids in me or something, some beta carotene or something. I don't know. That's too bad about your wife, man. That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. And it's tough. There's no easy way of putting it, man. And you got to take care of the kids. But she's always loved the fact that I've done music, and maybe we can put a link in for people to help out with the GoFundMe thing that's going on. It always
absolutely
and all that. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Jade Tats, man. And Jade, she's a girl who's actually a really good friend of my wife's. They're out in Lewiston, Idaho, and she does like crazy great tattoos. And I told her I'd have her on. She wants to sponsor me and dig what I do and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, any of that stuff, man, helps. But yeah, it's one of those things, man, where I'm very passionate about music. I love doing comedy. Comedy is great. I love making people smile and laugh. But my passion is in the music that I make. And because I just love it, man. I love seeing people dance to it. I love performing. And we're putting together right now some promotional tour dates for this Four Fingers Get Up song. And I'm just loving it, man. And hopefully we'll get in full swing by spring break and hit a couple of campuses. Keep it moving.
Absolutely. Here it is, folks. Check this out. This is Four Fingers Get Up, Billy Ray Rock.
Get out of my house, man, I'm sick of my day. Flipping doves at the club with some weekend love. It's about to rain. Get up, we're smoking. Get up, we showed up. Get up, don't be acting scared. Act like you know us. Get up, everybody get loud. We rowdy, we ain't trying to lose. You're somewhere close to. 4 fingers in the air. You know this, now flick your wrist like this. If you hold it, now tell your girl don't trip, keep posing. Bartender, fill my cup. We'll be here till they lock it up. Sometime before last call, I was coming out the bathroom stall. I met a girl and she grabbed it all. I could tell she wasn't wearing drawers. She said she had shots to lick. She grabbed my banana clip. Dark piece when she licked the lips. I tried to speak, but it sounded like this. Get up, we're smoking. Get up, we showed up. Get up, don't be acting scared. Act like you know us. Get up, everybody get loud. We ride.
back, folks. I told you. Now that's going to be Four Finger Get Up's going to be released in March, you were saying.
March 6th.
Right?
Yeah. Pre-order it, folks. Four Fingers Get Up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So important. And folks, once again, all of the clickable links are in the description below, and we've got everything there. So definitely, one of the cool things about the current era we find ourselves in is you have access to musicians. When I was a kid, I had a lot of ideas. Yeah, if I could have got a hold of Rick James, I would have said, hey, here's a great Motown song to you. I could have told him exactly what to do. I didn't have any way to get a hold of him. There was no internet. So now you have an opportunity. You can write Billy Ray or anybody on Instagram, and chances are they'll message you back. That's the crazy part, if they can. It's insane. It's insane.
If I ever, let me tell you something. If I ever got an email from Prince, I would take a picture of it, print it out,
be on the wall.
Frame it. Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I'm telling you. I am telling you.
One of my heroes is Maurice White from Earth, Wind & Fire and Verdine White.
Oh, yeah.
And if I heard many of those guys, man, I would go completely apeshit.
I don't think there was a barbecue that I went to growing up in Metro Detroit that Earth, Wind & Fire was not played at.
Yeah.
A couple tracks every time. Yeah, that's good stuff. And folks, I hate to tell you, all you young rockers out there, when you listen to your Nirvana from the 90s and whatnot, take a listen to that drum beat. It's all Earth, Wind & Fire.
It is. It sure is. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And they have no idea. They don't even know who Earth, Wind & Fire are. Listen to them. Give them a listen. You have access to all of human history and knowledge in your pocket. You carry around. Use it. It's amazing. There's some really good stuff out there. Earth, Wind & Fire is a great band. Great band. P-Funkadelic. Oh, my God. You want to get funky? Old George Clinton, his hair is crazier than mine. He's got the funk. Anyway, I digress. Billy Ray Rock. Very cool. I can't wait. I know our time's up. I'm looking at my little clock thing blinking here. I can't wait to have you on again. This was really fun today. I had a really good time.
Hey, man, I'm always down to talk to you, brother. You're a cool dude. And I always think that
you too.
Some people are from weird generations and have strange thoughts about stuff, but you make the most sense of anybody I've talked to in the podcast or interview game.
I need that on a t-shirt. People would read that and go, talking about me? I might be. What are your thoughts? Never know. Anyway, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us today. I want everybody, like I said, add Billy Ray Rock on all your socials and share those. You hit that share button too. Let all your friends know, because let's face it, folks, we all know that you're friends with your friends because of common interests. But if we're being honest, between you and me and the lamppost, you're the coolest one out of your friend group. You know that. Everybody knows that. So if you're sharing something they don't know about, it's just more cred for you. That's just more cred. It just proves how cool you actually are.
That's very true. Hey, a couple of things I want to throw out there real quick.
Absolutely.
First thing, man, I feel incredibly honored that anybody want to talk to me about anything with regard to my talents, man. I feel blessed. I don't take it for granted. And I just do, man. Every minute that goes by that I talk to you, certainly, and we talk about things that I've accomplished or any praise, I'm incredibly grateful. I'm humble to hear it, okay? And I'm humbled to experience any kind of anything that comes from the stuff that I've created. I also want to say mass shout out to Jay Tats again. Love her to death. She does such a great job in the things that she does. I also want to say shout out to my brother Freddie Walton, man. He's a sax player. He's the reason why I do music, man. I would not be in music if I didn't, in that rickety ass house we grew up in, if I wasn't in the back room listening to him practice his solos for fucking 7 hours in a row. And shout out to him. Mass shout out to Hustle Tree Global, who distributes some of my stuff, and of course to Michael. And I want to say rest in peace to my girl, Colette Palmer, man. That's my kid's mom. Love her, miss her every day, think about her every minute of every day. And although my body moves on, my spirit stays with you. And I want to tell everybody, man, enjoy every moment in life, man, because you never know when or if that great moment is going to come back again. You got to just suck it in, man. You don't know. And so I want to put that out there, brother.
Absolutely. We'll have a link to the GoFundMe and all that also in the description below. And use them, folks. Use them, seriously.
Yeah. It's for the kids.
We'll see you next time.
All right, brother. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Thanks, everybody.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Roxx Limited. Hannah Oli, Pop Roxx Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Roxx Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.